Hey, this is Knife Standards. Today I'm going to be doing my full review of the Chaves TAK, T-A-K. But first, please follow me at Knife Standards. You can follow me on Instagram, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for a lot more knife content and weekly knife reviews. All right, cool, let's get into it. So here we have the Chaves TAK, T-A-K, and it is a flipper only. This is the Blade HQ exclusive, so it is carbon fiber. That was one of their exclusive scales. I really like carbon fiber, and even just this kind of plain woven carbon fiber I'm into. It doesn't have to be, like the crazy, fat carbon or swirls and colors and all that stuff. I'm in it for just the classic carbon fiber also. Although don't get me wrong, fat carbon is great. I do like that other stuff, but every once in a while it's nice to have just the plain woven carbon fiber. Now let's go ahead and get this guy flipped open. Boom. Really awesome. I mean, you can just see right away, really awesome compound grind. We got super thin hollow grind. Nice swedge coming up top. We got the flat going across. You see the Chaves logo. This is a drop point. It's the classic Chaves drop point, classic Chaves grind, really recognizable. Now, it's tiny. This is a small knife, but it fits my hand really well. It's not too small, and usually Chaves, it makes these kind of bigger, chunkier, like really beastly, manly knives. So it's nice to have kind of a smaller design from him. It's definitely a nice change of pace. But don't get me wrong, I'm gonna get, as soon as I can get my hands on another big, chunky, Chaves design, I will. I'm really a fan of his grinds, and I guess they're reate grinds, but his designs, his grinds, and of course, yes, I like the skull pocket clip. Okay, now this is a liner lock. It is a flipper. You can see the lockup is looking pretty solid at about 30%. The action on this knife is just ridiculous for a small knife. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah. Super smooth and buttery. The action for the deployment action also amazing. So I'm not surprised. Reate is they don't mess around when it comes to detents, and they don't mess around when it comes to action, both deployment and closing action. Reate knows what's up, and they've quickly become if not right up there, I think they are my favorite kind of knife maker, knife production facility, because everything that comes out of there is right on. Quality control, amazing. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back into this specific knife, and let's go ahead and start off our specs and all that with a size comparison. Hear that noise? The flip is just, it sounds awesome. Let's go ahead and get our Benchmade Mini Freak. I really do like my Mini Freak, but let's just hear the sound. That's sad. That is a sad deployment. It's some sad action compared to the Chaves TAK. Which, by the way, stands for tiny ass knife, if you didn't figure that out already. Let's go ahead and get the quiet carry drift. That action actually sounds pretty nice. That snap. So comparable they're comparable to each other. They're kind of small to mid-size. Great for my hand. All three of these. Let's get some measurements going. I know Benchmade Mini Freak, we got about a 3-inch blade, measured this a few times before. 7 inches overall. Now for the Chaves tack. Got just about 2 1/4 on the blade and 6 overall. Okay, pretty small. And then quiet carry, drift, just about 3, maybe a little less than 3 on the blade, and a little bit less than 7 overall. Now, I'll go ahead and get this quiet carry out of the way, get my mini freak out of the way, and we'll get back to the Chaves. So it is small. It fits my hand really well. I get 3 fingers, super comfortable ergonomics. A lot of people complained about the jimping, and like I get it. I mean, I see what you're saying. It is sharp. There's no question. But does it matter? Does it, like, what is the point of jimping if there's not texture? You know, if I'm gonna use this grip to cut something, I want some texture on my thumb. This is not like a hard use knife. I'm not gonna go crazy like batoning wood or, you know, anything too serious. So I'm not gonna chew up my thumb sawing something. I think that the texture is fine. I don't know why they left it sharp, but that's definitely not even a downside for me. Now, as far as the upsides go, look at those grind lines. Oh my gosh. I mean, that is just sexy. That is amazing. The grind lines, the blade shape, all of this stuff, you guys know. You've seen it before from reate, from Chaves. That is a huge upside for me. Upside, yeah, the skull pocket clip. Now they actually put the screws on the outside. The other iterations of Chaves knives had I think they were hidden. It was like hidden hardware, so you had to take apart the knife to get the clip off. This, you can just 2 little. I think it looks like T6, which is about to be a downside for me. But you can just unscrew it. This model doesn't come with a plain pocket clip, but I think this is compatible with other pocket clips. I've definitely seen other people mod their tacks and put on different clips, but I like my skull clip. It looks cool. It works really well in and out of pocket. Another upside for me is the liners. Really easy to use, really easy to access, and I don't have to worry about you know, pinching the frame lock or you know, interfering with the action. It's really simple. Centering is right on, dead center. And another huge upside is the action. I mean, this, you know, I was just talking about detent, and I was talking about the Kunwu, the mini Tau, and how I can fail it, you know, at will, and how they need to work on that. This guy, look at this. So I'm gonna try and fail. No, impossible. You cannot fail this knife. And lately, that's what I've been thinking. You shouldn't be able to fail flippers. The detent should be dialed where you cannot fail it. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it should be. Not drop shut, but pretty damn close. Pretty smooth on the way down. Really smooth for a knife this small. I'm really impressed with this knife. Now, we also got, I forgot to mention, did I forget? It is M390. So we got the premium blade steel. We got the carbon fiber scales, woven carbon fiber. You know, I noticed some people complaining about the scales and how they're kind of just like blocked off. There's no contouring. But do I need contouring on this knife? This is like a little like chunky, little chunky boy. You know, it's like, I don't need it. That's not a downside for me. It feels great in hand. It's comfortable. I don't feel the clip. I do feel the jimping, and I don't mind it. And I just don't need everything perfectly smooth and rounded on this particular knife. There are some knives when I've complained about that, and I want to see you know, more you know, more chamfering, or, you know, they knock down the edges a little bit, or some contours. For this knife, I don't think it needs it. Now, I didn't take apart this knife, but it definitely looks like it's T6, which is a bummer. I would have liked to have seen them make these T8. Now, there are a lot of screws. Like, I don't know if they were trying to just fit as many screws in as they could, but I mean, we've got one, two, three, so 3 on each side, 4, 5, 6, so 8 total, 9, 10. We got 10 screws. I don't know if that's necessary, so I'll file that under downside. But I don't think anything, you know, anything can mess with this action. The action is just so damn good that if the jimping's a little rough, or the scales aren't contoured, I just don't think it really matters. The flipper tab, no jimping, and no jimping needed. It deploys perfectly every single time. Zero failures. Now, one thing, it's probably the last kind of downside is this sharpening choil. Ergos are great from here, and this is how I used the knife when I carried it. But it would be really nice if they just kind of carved out that area, or ground down this area, so I can have a finger choil, because this is just a sharpening choil. But if I could get my finger here, now we're talking with, you know, some really kind of detailed cuts, or detailed cutting. If I could get, and it, you know, yeah, I guess it would make the cutting edge pretty small, but it doesn't have to be that big. Just a little extra on the choil, so I can get my first finger, my pointer finger in there. I think that would be an awesome addition. Overall, this is a cool knife, and I'm excited to see what Chaves does next. I know he came out with the scapegoat, and there's some more coming out soon. Hopefully he has his, you know, renditions and his usual suspects, and is getting everything prepped for Blade Show. So I want to thank everyone for watching and listening, and always being super cool and supportive. This has been Knife Standards, and this is the Chaves Tack, and I am a fan. Thanks for watching, guys.